Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Oh, that's awful. So, um, welcome to Talking Sports with Coach. Another episode. We're on episode 8. We have a great list of guests today. First up, we'll have Bryce Weiler. He is from the Beautiful Lives Project. He works with the Baltimore Orioles as well as their disability consultant. He does a great job with the Beautiful Lives Project. He's one of the co-founders. Gives people a way to basically have a career in sports, and it gives a lot of people who you may not think to play sports or be involved in sports or anything like that, and it really gives them like a chance to have a good time, just to like basically participate. And I think this is a really good story that you should listen to. Because I mean, his story is really good. I mean, Bryce is blind. Well, he was born blind, and literally does like sports commentating. So I thought this would be a great little segment to talk about. And then later, we're gonna have Alan Bell Jr. from 24/7 Sports, sportsline.com. He's going to join us and talk some NFL draft. We'll just shoot the poops, and talk basically whatever with NFL. So that's the guy right there. Right, what's the wrong one? There, right there. So Beautiful Lives Project. If you want to check out Beautiful Lives Project, it's beautifullivesproject.org. I will call him right now. So we'll get him on, and I'll be right back. Okay. Once again, I said, we had a great list of guests. Welcome to Talking Sports with Coach. I got my first guest up. He's on the phone with me right now. It's Bryce Weiler of the Beautiful Lives Project. He's a disability consultant for the Baltimore Orioles. He has a great story, and I thought I would put him on with us today. Everybody in the chat, please welcome Bryce. What's going on, Bryce? How you doing today?
Hi, Chad. Thank you so much for having me on here with you this morning.
Yeah, no problem. It's crazy times we live in, but I felt like that your story is something that a lot of people need to hear right now, and I know a lot of people are going through a lot with the coronavirus and everything going around that, and I just thought maybe we would bring them something fun and something special.
always have to face obstacles and challenges in their life. This is a little tougher now than the normal obstacles and challenges one faces, but if people band together and have a strong mind, they can always overcome obstacles and challenges and people not believing that they can do things.
Without a doubt, and you seem to be, number one guy to show these people that no matter the disability, no matter the problem, you tackle it and you perfect it, and you always try to perfect your craft as much as possible. I know I do as well. But tell a little bit about where you're from, and basically, just let's dive into this.
So I'm from over by Vincennes, and I was born 4 months premature, which caused me to be blind. The retinas in my eyes didn't properly form when I was born because I was born so soon, and I became blind either through too much light or things like that when I was at the hospital in Terre Haute, Indiana. Too much oxygen or too much light caused me to be blind, and then the retinas in my eyes just stopped working properly.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, and to be able to do what you do, what just kind of clicked in your head? Like what made you think, or what was your passion? Like, how did you just become a sports broadcaster like this? Like, what made you just say, hey, I want to do this?
When I was growing up, I listened to Brian Barnhart commentating games for the Fighting Illini in football and basketball, and Don Fisher commentating games for the Indiana Hoosiers in football and basketball, and it was those two broadcasters that got me interested in sports and really taught me how to listen to games and to understand football and basketball. Thursday, I just got to go on the radio show with the Fighting Illini broadcaster, Brian Barnhart. So that was fun talking to Brian about how much growing up listening to him changed my life, and he didn't really know all those things. That was really interesting and fun to do that. But when I got to college, I was able to sit on the Evansville men's basketball bench thanks to the former Aces head men's basketball coach, Marty Simmons.
Oh, wow.
And Tom Benson, who was a broadcaster there for the Aces, taught me how to be a blind radio broadcaster by listening to the play-by-play broadcaster, analyzing what was happening on the court or the field, studying facts on the two teams, reading up on the players and coaches as well.
That's crazy. And so how exactly does it work? Is it on a delay? Are you maybe kind of catching what's going on? Can you actually understand, when you hear the ball or when you hear the bat or when you hear, the play unfold? Do you kind of know what's going on?
The broadcast is a live broadcast, and when I'm doing basketball, for example, I try to make sure they always have microphones on the rim so I can hear the ball hitting the rim and going through the net. I'll try to shoot on the baskets before the game to figure out if the rims are loose or tight or how the ball bounces off the rim. When it's baseball or softball, that can be a little harder because in college they don't use wooden bats, so most hits sound the same, but still just listening to how the play-by-play broadcaster commentates, studying his or her style, determining how much time that they use to talk, how much time they give to allow fans the opportunity to hear the sound of the crowd, and taking all that into consideration when I analyze what's happening in the sporting event.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So if you had to pick one sports announcer that you could work with, if it was national ESPN or maybe somebody around your area, who would that be?
People always ask me things like that, but I have found that it matters less to me who I commentate with. It matters more to me who wants to have me commentate with them, because I could pick someone for you, and that person, he or she may not want to let me commentate with them because they don't think that I can do it, because I can't see, or they're nervous to commentate with someone who is blind, or it's just not something they're interested in doing. So I would say whatever broadcaster wants to let me commentate a game with them, whether they're famous or not famous, that's who I would like to work with.
That's awesome, man. It shouldn't matter about that kind of thing. You'd be surprised. Yeah, I get it, man. You'd be surprised. I'm sure a lot of people are kind of just negative or just don't really know, like haven't been around it enough, maybe that they just kind of, they look at it really badly, and I don't like that. And that shouldn't what it be about, you know what I mean? You should enjoy being a broadcaster. I mean, I don't know why it's like being a server or a bartender. It's like, I don't know why you would go into your job every day knowing that you're going to make money if it's busy, and it's like that with sportscasting. If you don't like doing it, I mean, like, how can you not like the person next to you? You know what I mean? You got to sit there for 3 hours. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of one of those things you have to kind of take with a grain of salt. And I guess some people are just not like that.
I think people do enjoy doing it. They're just nervous with something different or something they haven't tried or something they haven't done before. Because I can remember there's been a few times when I've been on the radio that people have been worried to broadcast with me because I can't see. And one time, one of the men even tried not to do it and didn't want to let me on with him. And another guy had to force him to accept me on the broadcast. And I didn't find this out until after I'd done my first broadcast with this person.
Yeah. That's terrible, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's just despicable, to be honest with you. I don't know why anybody would want to. Just not. I guess you're right. I guess a lot of people aren't used to things that are different, and I think that's what a lot of ignorant people out there that just don't really take the time to get to know somebody, or will see somebody and just like immediately judge them.
It was the same thing when I was in college, though. When I was an undergraduate there with Marty Simmons and at Evansville, and
oh yeah, I
had many students who would help me get my food in the cafeteria. I got to do things with the staff there, raise money for auctions for Susan G. Komen, help out with sporting events and games. When I went to graduate school, the staff promised me that I would be able to do all the things I did for my first 4 years at Evansville. It was a different place for graduate school. And that I could commentate games on the radio as a blind broadcaster. I only got to commentate 4 games on the radio, and those were a struggle to get. The athletic department staff wouldn't let me help out with fundraisers or do any of the things that they promised me that I could do, which is one of the main reasons why I picked where I went to go to graduate school. So that really showed me when you're not given the opportunities, you make the best of them that you can, and that you never really know when you're going to, like, you always want to trust everyone, but you never really know.
That's crazy, man. That's just insane. So you're from Indiana. Are you a big Parks and Rec guy?
I don't really listen to movies or shows. So.
Yeah. As always, the Indiana thing, I thought that was pretty funny. So tell us a little bit more about the Beautiful Lives Project. Tell me what it's all about, and how did you become a co-founder?
With the Beautiful Lives Project, we work to enhance the lives of individuals of every disabled group to help them live their dreams in programs in sports, art, cheerleading, dance, ballet, nature. And I became the co-founder of the nonprofit by emailing Anthony Icavone, who owns a baseball team on the East Coast, the New Britain Bees. And I told Anthony about how sitting on Evan's old basketball bench had changed my life. And I also told him about the work that I've done with the Orioles baseball team to help fans of every disabled group be able to live their dreams. And in 2017, I hadn't done as much work with the Orioles as I've done now. Since then, I've helped the Orioles become the first team in sports to wear Braille on their jerseys to honor people who are blind. And I've also helped fans of all groups of disabled individuals be able to play on the field with the Orioles players and coaches at their home ballpark of Camden Yards before 2 Orioles home games last year. So even when I hadn't done all those interesting Orioles things, and the work that I'd done was a lot less, just helping them make their stadiums more accessible, when I emailed him, he told me that he had a nonprofit already and he wanted to help people of all these groups to be able to live their dreams, and asked me if I wanted to be the co-founder of his nonprofit, which turned out to be the one I'm helping run now, here. So I was really grateful for that opportunity that he gave me, and also for what the Orioles have let me do. And if it wasn't for Anthony and the staff from Baltimore, my life would be different. I don't know what I would really be doing.
I hear you. So so tell everybody that may have just joined us, what exactly do you do for the Baltimore Orioles?
So
What's a day in the life?
Their disability consultant, and I do a wide range of things for them. Sometimes I help them with things in the stadium to help fans who have autism or whatever specialized group of people who are blind, people who are in wheelchairs have a good experience. For the special game where they wore Braille on their jerseys, the players and coaches on their team, we had 150 fans come to the game who were blind.
Wow.
So I made sure that these fans who were blind, some of them had guide dogs, so I made sure that the guide dogs had a place to use the bathroom, and there was a place where the guide dogs could be, eat, I guess, be fed and drink some water there in the stadium. And then I also put some of the food menus in Braille by the seats where the fans who were blind were sitting. I walked around and talked to them all and made sure they were happy and satisfied, and that's just some of the things that I do for Baltimore.
Now, is it only select teams that have a disability consultant, or does every team have one?
Not every team has one. Select teams have them, or someone who works for them on a part-time or full-time basis. More teams should be doing it, but most teams don't because they feel like what they do is at an adequate level. And for a lot of teams, it isn't at an adequate level because I have studied all the teams in Major League Baseball, the NBA, NFL, Major League Soccer, and hockey, most of the hockey teams. So I know what teams do a great job and what teams do a really poor job. And I'm not going to tell you which ones are which because it actually might really change fans' thoughts on their favorite team or their favorite sport. It changed my thoughts on sports. And so I don't want to do that to fans. But now whenever two teams will be playing again, I don't really think of them as, this team has a powerful first baseman or has a great three-point shooter. I think, this team does really great programs for fans who have autism. But they don't really do other good programs for all the other groups of fans, people who are blind, people in wheelchairs, whatever challenge people might be facing. Or these two teams are outstanding. I wish, I could get programs to that level, things like that.
It's all right. You don't have to offend me if none of my Atlanta teams have these consultants, okay? So I won't get offended if they don't, but I probably kind of will get offended if they do. You know what I mean? So yeah, you probably shouldn't tell me if any of the Atlanta people do.
You mentioned that you like all the teams there in Georgia, the Braves, the Falcons, and the Hawks. They have the best programs in the country. They have more than consultants. They have ushers who know how to do sign language. They are the dream programs that people want to model if they know what they're looking for.
Oh, wow.
Programs I want to model.
That's so cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like, that's definitely something that, you should make it more accessible, whether we gotta, have more flat areas, with good seating and everything like that. I know that the Georgia Dome, for instance, there were areas on the mid-level that, were all handicap accessible, and it was a great seat. You know what I mean? Not only just because they have a disability, but hey, what's going on, Steele? Head of Steele in the chat says hello. Jersey Kua also says hello. So like it just seemed really good. Like even with or without a disability, it still was really nice that they had an area where it's a good seat all around the stadium. You know what I mean? And it's not so much where you're being blocked by another person, or if somebody stands up, it's a problem. Like it really wasn't there. It was perfect. It was like its own step up, basically, and that's cool. Like, I'm glad that there's a lot of people out there that are fighting to kind of help people with disabilities, to make it really easy for them to be able to watch a game. And for you to do that kind of thing, I think that's very awesome. And that's really cool. So
I actually know one of the Hawks owners, Steve Coonan.
Yeah.
Email with him every so often and tell him how great their programs are and what I've been doing with the Orioles, and he really appreciates that and values that work because he has the same thing for the Hawks.
Well, hopefully, maybe one day you'll be working for the Hawks and we can meet up.
The Hawks don't really need me, that's the thing, but I still think there are a couple of things that I can work on with the Hawks, such as setting up a specialized program where fans of every disabled group can play on the court with the players and coaches. It's actually what I'm going for. That's the one thing they don't do that I could help them with.
Do you do that with the Orioles? Do you give fans a chance to go out and play with the players?
And coaches, yes, we did that before 2 home games last year. It took me 3 years to convince them, and they did not want to do it in the beginning or even last year, but I finally convinced them, and they tried it, and they were really nervous, and it went fantastic, and we're going to do it more.
That's awesome. So what did you have to do? Did you have to pull somebody's arm? You said you fought for 2 years. Like
every time that I did one of these playing on the field programs anywhere with my nonprofit or something else, articles and videos, and I almost actually stopped because they just would not listen. So I almost gave up, and I had an event out in Cumming, Georgia last year
cool.
where people were playing with some high school AAU softball players.
Yeah.
100 people were playing on 3 fields with about 120 high school softball players hitting, running the bases, things like that. And I had some big articles and videos come out of that. And so I almost didn't send it to the Orioles staff. I actually didn't for the first week because I'm like, it's not going to do any good. Then one day I got inspired, and I'm like, I'm going to send it to them and tell them and try to convince them, because I actually gave a speech to the people who were taking part, there, to the players from the softball teams and to the people from the various programs who I got to come play on the field. And I sent the articles and videos to the Orioles staff, and those were the articles and videos that took them over the top and convinced them they should do it.
So is the Miracle League and Beautiful Lives Project, is that kind of like the same thing? Because we have something like we have the Miracle League down here where I'm from.
So with the Miracle League, they do have specialized baseball programs. Ours are kind of the same, but a little different.
Yeah.
We don't normally do our baseball, softball programs every week, and the Miracle League has a set schedule.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So this is kind of like...
But the Miracle League did start out in Baltimore area, actually, by one of the Orioles' former players, BJ Surhoff.
Oh, really? Wow, I like
Yes.
BJ. I like BJ a lot, actually. I'm a huge baseball fan. Baseball is probably my number one sport, man. I've always loved and I played a lot of baseball as a kid, and I still watch baseball, and I'm really pissed that we don't have it right now, to be honest with you. I really wish that I could get some baseball in my life right now. It would be nice. It would be really nice. So tell us, a little, tell us what we can do to kind of help Beautiful Lives Project, or what kind of stuff. Do you have any kind of events that might be coming up, but I'm sure they got delayed because of the coronavirus?
We had to postpone all the events we had on the schedule due to the virus, so we're looking to get those rescheduled again, setting up more events across the country whenever the virus ends and it's safe for people to go out and do things like that again. We're always looking for people to help us with funding, or who want to start up new chapters across the country to help people live their dreams in small towns and large cities anywhere in the country, or anywhere basically. It could be in England, Scotland, wherever.
Yeah.
So people can look at our website if they want, which is www.beautifullives.org. Beautifullives.org. They can read about me and the various staff members under the Who We Are tab. They can also contact me at Bryce@beautifullives.org. And anyone who wants to help us by investing in smiles would be greatly appreciated as well.
So do you have any in Alabama? Have you done any workshops?
I don't have any events in Alabama, but I could do whatever someone wanted in Alabama to set up or to take part in or to bring people to. So playing on the field with a high school or a college football team, because I know Alabama's a big football state. If that's something people want to do, get the high school coaches to email me or call me, or college coaches, and I could set that up. If you got some cheerleading or some dance coaches there in Alabama who want to allow people to dance or to cheer with them at a sporting event or at halftime, get them to email or call me, I can set it up. Whatever somebody wants to do in the 5 categories that we have on our website that you have in Alabama, I can set it up. So, I can find people, or if a group says we have 20 people who want to play on the field with a high school football team, with a range of challenges from autism to blindness to a couple in a wheelchair, whatever the case might be. Then I just have to find a high school football team who'd let them play on the field with them. So
sounds like you need to call up Nick Saban or Gus Malzahn over at Auburn. You know?
I actually know Coach Saban. I have emailed with him. He's a great man. He sends me signed items for my auctions. I
That's
figured
awesome.
out the email format for Nick Saban. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I will, but not when you have all these friends and individuals listening. And they'll all be emailing Coach
Well,
Saban.
I know that, you know, the radio station I work for, we try to, of course, you talked to Tom, last week, and basically, you know, we can talk to Saban, but we have to be at the game. You know what I mean? Like we have to do the post game, you know, conference, or we have to do, something where it's like he's with a group of people, like SEC media days or something like that. We don't really have the Nick Saban direct line, but we have the Nick Saban, other lines that get to his other handlers and all that other stuff. So
You don't know Coach Saban's exact email address, which he reads, and I know it. I'll give it to you later.
Ah, man, that would be amazing. But you can give that to me, but I'll hold on to it. I'm not going to do anything with it yet.
Yeah.
I'm too nervous. But that's awesome. So he gives you signed things. Have you talked to Gus Malzahn at all? I've gotten to being able to handle a lot of Auburn games, and I know that the Auburn fan base would definitely jump on board with this as well.
I have not spoken to Coach Gus Malzahn. He did work for my friend Houston Nutt at Mississippi a number of years ago, so Coach Nutt knows him well. And Coach Nutt just hasn't been able to get him in touch with me and talk about these types of playing on the field programs.
That's actually somebody we get on the show.
Done, Coach Gus could call Coach Nutt. Coach Nutt would back me up, and I'd be set.
That's pretty cool, because that's actually who we can get on the show a lot, is because of my program director and because of the owner. The owner, he basically he was a member. He's an Alabama alumni. He's the president of the A club, but they always get like different coaches and different guests, and Houston Nutt is definitely, I know I've seen one on the call sheet before. So that's pretty cool. That's true. That's pretty awesome, man. That must be really cool to be able to converse with a lot of these coaches and do a lot of things like that.
I mean, it's exciting, but they're people just like you. They just have Wikipedia pages. Other than that, they're still just people.
Well, hopefully your Wikipedia page will be full of good things and nothing but, helping people, and that would just be true. It'd be truly awesome to be able to type in Bryce Weiler and find all this great stuff that you've done over the years.
Yeah, that would be interesting, I guess.
Well, I know I would be able to read it, and I would definitely share it on and make sure everybody knows, the great organization that you run, and everything that you truly do for somebody with disabilities. And that's why, when I called you, I texted you, and really you were trying to find different ways to try to tell your story, I was going to jump on board and definitely put you on this, upload it, all that stuff, just so everybody knows, outside of the radio business, and just a way to get your message out.
Yeah, it's definitely something different than what I've done before. You had to explain to me how it worked because I didn't really know, so it's been enjoyable.
Well, I appreciate it, yeah, because it's very easy for me to do it until I can figure out a different way to have maybe I need to do the Google phone or something through the computer. I just know that it sounds good, and that it sounds like I'm talking to you, obviously over the phone, because I'm going to call you. And what I do on my stream is, of course, I've got the title at the bottom of what the stream's called, and then we have a live button over in one corner, and then in the other corner I have a little wording that says on the phone, and it says Bryce Weiler, and then I have like pictures that we were talking earlier. I just have a picture of you broadcasting and the beautiful lives picture, so people know where to go. So once I upload this after we're done, I will I'll make sure that I add you, or I'll tag you in the tweet, and then I'll also if I need to email it to you, I can email it. I can clip just your part and email it to you if you want. So
that would be fine, and then you could also just tag my Twitter and the nonprofit Twitter. How many people have we had on our posting today?
right now we fluctuated between 10 and 4. So it's kind of one of those. It's kind of one of those things, man. It's hit or miss. Last week we had 25, so you know it's 1 week I think I got up to 30 or 35. And it's just kind of a hit or miss. I told everybody that we were live. I've been tweeting, throughout the week that you're live. 10 o'clock sometimes I guess is too early for some people.
Yeah.
So when you have to deal with people around your age and people a little bit younger than you, it's probably a little harder for people to get up and pay attention. But like I said, I'm gonna make sure that maybe we can have you on again and we can just talk whatever. Once sports gets back into into the mix.
We'll see about that. I'm not that big of a sports fan after dealing with all these teams for years. You probably don't want me on for that.
Well, you can tell us what you're doing, like if you've got any events coming up or whatever, or you can tell us what games.
Events coming up. I'm always very busy running events everywhere and helping people.
Well, that's good, man, because I want to make sure that I throw your message out there and make sure everybody knows, especially
I'd like to get some in Alabama too. Maybe you can get Coach Gus Miles on to call me, or some high school coaches around there, and talk to all your radio people.
We could definitely talk to some people that are local, some football coaches that might be interested on it. We'll definitely keep in touch, and we can talk about that in the future, especially once the world gets back to normal.
But also now I think is a good time to become friends with those people because they don't have as much going on. That's why I was more meaning try and get them now, then become friends with them, and then when it becomes safe again, we just roll right into the event. Oh yeah, well we're going to be talking to a lot of high school coaches here soon, and then we can definitely I'll tell them about you, and we can talk a lot of that stuff soon. Because my brother right now, he's in football, and I'm talking to his coach right now to try to do some stuff. So that's awesome. Yeah, so my little brother, he's going to be a sophomore this year. Luckily, he got to finish his freshman season, so hopefully he'll have a sophomore season and he'll be able to play football this year. So hopefully, but I'm glad he's a sophomore because then I'll have 2 more years with him. So at least, especially as long as this all goes back to normal, that would be amazing if this would all go back to normal. Yeah. To give us something back, basically. It's just crazy. I'm not that bothered by it, actually. Yeah, well, I'm sure, but you can only stay home so much. You know what I mean? You got to get out. Yeah. I stay at home all the time anyway, so this is nothing normal. Well, I guess you only get out for your events. Twice in the past 24 days, and I'm having a great time.
What do you usually do to get through this quarantine? Or just in general, what do you do? What's a normal day in the life of Bryce?
So I'm busy with that, finding participants, setting up media, getting on radio shows, getting media to come to the events. Now, with the virus going on, I've been setting up radio interviews to inspire people. I have a whole bunch of radio interviews that I've done, not just the one with Tom and yourself, but loads of them. And I've been figuring out email formats for iHeartRadio, Intercom, Cumulus, all these big radio networks and stations, and I've been doing that. And also going on radio shows and studying the host and listening to his or her broadcast style. I've only been on radio shows with men, by the way. That makes me sad. Hopefully I'll get on a radio show that isn't ran by a man. And I got on my first talk show yesterday. That was exciting.
Oh, wow.
It's only been sports stations, and I keep telling people that I think that my life goes beyond sports. So I got on my first talk show yesterday. He's having me back on again at 1:30 Central Time today.
What's the...
out of Denver.
Oh, cool.
KOA Radio.
Yeah, so you got on with Tom. He used to work with our competitor that's in the area. Did you talk to 103.9?
No. So how I got a hold of Tom was I connected with him on LinkedIn. He accepted my invitation, and I emailed him. Okay. Yeah, because usually, I thought maybe he reached out to you, and maybe he talked to you about it. Okay. Nobody's reached out to me for any of these. I've had to set them all up myself.
Well, that was the thing, man. Not only that, if I could help you in some sort of way, help promote your organization and what you do, I was definitely going to have you on. I just reached out to you and said, hey, do you want to do this? And I'm glad that you said, yeah. Because I mean,
I wasn't gonna tell you no.
you can tell me no.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm used to people telling me no. You're good, man.
That's sad.
The thing is I try to go after some professional athletes sometimes, and they tell you all the time that they're too busy. You know what I mean? So
how do you contact them?
Well,
I've never been able to contact athletes well because I can't use social media.
Well, that's how I do it, through social media, through here. I've tried to talk to a couple of Falcons guys, and I've played games with a couple of them, over the past few months. But when you try to get them on to try to be on this show, it's kind of hard. So
from what I've talked with, even like basketball coaches who are in college and college football coaches, so many of those athletes, they just hear that they're the greatest and so good that they stop thinking as a normal person after that.
Yeah, well, it's like that too, because like I know a couple of people that are from around here that became professional athletes. Obviously, you know who Reggie Ragland is, just won the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He's from my area. Trey Flowers, who won the Super Bowl with the Patriots, he's from my area. Who else? From this? You got Chester Rogers, who's a wide receiver for the Colts, but I don't think he's coming. I think he's coming back. I'd have to look at that again. And then, like I said, like Chris Lindstrom, who the Falcons drafted last year, I'm a mod for his channel when he streams on Mixer, and so I help him out. And I haven't seen him much because he's quarantining at his house and stuff like that. And then Kurt Benkert, who is the third string quarterback for the Falcons, he streams on Twitch, but he also plays like Call of Duty and all this other stuff. So we try to connect through that. So it's crazy how many of these pro athletes are huge gamers. You know, like last night we had the 2K tournament last night with Kevin Durant and Trae Young and everything like that. So I didn't get to watch any of it because I was streaming, but I kind of forgot about it too. But we have iRacing today, so we do have some NASCAR iRacing today.
Wow, that's fun.
So that'll be cool. I think it's today or tomorrow. I'd have to look at it again. It's
probably tomorrow because NASCAR races are supposed to be ran on Sunday, but who knows?
I think you're right. I'm hardly even paying attention to iRacing, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are qualifying. Maybe it's qualifying or something that I'm thinking about today.
Probably.
But hey, man, I greatly appreciate you getting on with me. And like I said, I'll clip this and I'll post it on YouTube and I'll post it on Twitter and I'll tag you in it. And we'll make sure that we get your message out there, and a lot of people get to hear what you get to say and what great things you do around this great country.
Yeah, if you got any radio hosts you want me to email from any stations, just email me their names or emails if you got it. I won't tell them I got it from here, especially if they're from stations that you guys, work with. But, if you give me the information, then I have it and I can just contact them, send them my big document like I sent to Tom, and they'll probably have me on, honestly.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. I'm on the bottom of the totem pole, okay? I'm just a producer, but I've been there for about 2 years now, and I've grown to talk to a lot of different types of people while I've been there. They haven't really given me a whole lot to work with the time I've been there, but I have reached out to certain people just to try to help me out. But I will definitely keep on the lookout for you, and we'll definitely try to maybe we can get you down in Tuscaloosa, because I know that we have a guy that we're affiliated with at 100.9, and I think he would be a great guy to get on with. So
that would be fun.
And definitely, if you're working with Saban, if you tell him that you're working, if you've got Saban's personal email and you're working with Saban, he'll jump right on board to talk with you about Alabama, especially Alabama football.
I don't really know that much about their team. I just know Coach Saban. I email with him. He emails me back, and he sends me signed items for auctions. Other than that, he is really busy, but he's a lot nicer than some people think he is.
Oh, have you ever met his wife? His wife is a saint. Like I met her at the LSU game last year or 2 years ago. I met her at the LSU game at LSU, and I just walked up to her and just started talking to her, and I said, hey, is there any way I can get a picture with you? I said, because my mom would probably beat me if she knew I met you and I didn't get a picture with you. I was like, because you're basically like a mom to this team. I was like, you're literally the queen and he's the king, but you're the one that controls him. You know what I mean? Like you can see it too, because when I was at the Arkansas game 2 years ago, I'm sitting in a chair, and I didn't recognize who she was at first. And I got up out of I saw a lady walk into the room, and I got up out of the chair and I said, "Ma'am, would you," and it was right in front of the podium, right? This is how stupid I looked. And I said, "Ma'am, would you like my seat?" And she said, "Oh, no, you're fine." And I was like, and to this day, I did not recognize that was her until after the game, or after the press conference, that I was basically trying to give, Miss Terry, her seat right in front of her husband. So it's crazy. It's crazy who you meet and who you get to see while you do a lot of these games. Because when you're standing on the sideline, man, you meet all these different people, and then you see all these different ex-players that just come back and show the love, So.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, you have a good rest of your day, and stay safe, okay? And I'm sure we'll talk soon, and I will get this as soon as we're done with this. I will clip everything, and I'll email it to you, and I'll post it on Twitter and YouTube, and maybe we can get some more people to give it a watch.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, Chad.
All right, you have a good rest of your day, okay?
You too. Bye.
Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. That was Bryce Weiler from the Beautiful Lives Project. He is a disability consultant for the Baltimore Orioles. We kind of ran over a little bit longer. Hey, what's up, man? We kind of ran a little bit longer, so let me call Alan Bell, switch the screens around, and then we'll come right back. So let me go on a break. Let me be right back. It'll take me like maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and then switch over to Alan Bell. So be right back, guys.